Welcome back. If you're new here, this channel is dedicated to helping adults over 60 live longer, healthier, and more independent lives with practical information you can actually use. Today, we're talking about walking. Specifically, what happens inside your body, your bones, your brain, your blood vessels, your joints, even your gut. When you walk every single day, not once a week, not when the weather is perfect, daily. Now, you might think walking is too simple to matter much. Maybe someone told you that unless you're drenched in sweat, it doesn't count. That is flat out wrong. Modern research, we're talking studies from Harvard, Stanford, the National Institute on Aging, confirms that consistent daily walking triggers a cascade of biological changes that no pill on earth can replicate. And for people over 60, those changes are magnified because your body is more responsive to movement stimulus than you might realize. Let me walk you through exactly what happens, week by week, system by system. Within the first 3 to 5 days of daily walking, even 15 or 20 minutes at a comfortable pace, your circulatory system begins to shift. Here's what's happening beneath the skin. Your heart pumps blood through roughly 60,000 miles of blood vessels. After 60, many of those vessels have stiffened. The inner lining, called the endothelium, gets sluggish. It produces less nitric oxide, which is the chemical that keeps vessels flexible and open. Walking changes that. Each step sends a gentle pulse of blood through your arteries. That rhythmic pressure signals the endothelium to release more nitric oxide. Within days, your vessels start relaxing slightly. Blood flows with less resistance. What does that feel like? Your fingers and toes feel warmer. That heavy, foggy sensation in your head after sitting too long, it lifts faster. Some people notice their ankles swell less by evening. One gentleman I read about, a 68 retired postal worker, described it like this. By day 4, my legs didn't feel like sandbags anymore when I stood up from my chair. That's circulation waking up, and it's only the beginning. Now here's where many seniors get confused. They think walking wears out joints, especially knees and hips. The opposite is true, within limits. Your joint cartilage has no direct blood supply. It gets its nutrition through compression and release. Think of it like a sponge. When you step down, the cartilage compresses and pushes out waste fluid. When you lift your foot, it expands and draws in fresh, nutrient-rich fluid. Without that pumping action, cartilage starves. It dries, it cracks. Daily walking feeds your cartilage the way nothing else can. By week 2 or 3, many walkers report something counterintuitive. Their morning stiffness shortens. Knees that creaked and popped begin settling down. The ache doesn't vanish overnight, but the sharp edge dulls. There's also the matter of synovial fluid, the slippery liquid inside your joint capsule. Movement stimulates its production. More synovial fluid means less bone-on-bone friction. Your body is literally manufacturing its own lubricant every time you take a step. Many seniors ignore early joint stiffness, assuming it's just age, but often it's inactivity disguised as aging. If you've been walking daily for a full month, something remarkable is happening with your metabolism. Your muscles are your largest glucose storage facility. When you walk, muscle fibers contract and pull sugar directly out of your bloodstream, without needing insulin to unlock the door. This is called non-insulin-mediated glucose uptake, and it's enormously important for anyone over 60, especially if you're pre-diabetic or managing type 2 diabetes. A study published in the journal Diabetologia followed adults over 65 who walked 30 minutes daily after their largest meal. Within 4 weeks, their post-meal blood sugar spikes dropped by an average of 22%. 22% from walking, not medication. Your pancreas gets a break. Your cells become more sensitive to the insulin you do produce. That stubborn fasting glucose number on your lab work? Walking is one of the most effective tools to nudge it downward. Ask yourself this: do you feel drowsy or sluggish after lunch? That crash is often a blood sugar spike followed by a rapid drop. A 15-minute walk after eating can smooth that curve dramatically. Here's where things get genuinely exciting. Your brain produces a protein called BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. Think of it as fertilizer for brain cells. It helps existing neurons survive, encourages new connections between them, and even stimulates the growth of brand new brain cells in the hippocampus, the memory center. After 60, BDNF production naturally declines. This is one reason memory becomes less reliable with age. Walking increases BDNF consistently. A landmark study from the University of Pittsburgh followed adults aged 55 to 80. Those who walked 40 minutes 3 times per week for a year actually increased the volume of their hippocampus by 2%. That doesn't sound like much until you realize that after 60, the hippocampus typically shrinks 1 to 2% per year. Walking didn't just slow the decline, it reversed it. By month 2 of daily walking, many people notice sharper word recall. They find names faster. They remember where they put their glasses. The mental fog thins, and there's the mood component. Walking triggers the release of endorphins, serotonin, and dopamine, your brain's natural feel-good chemicals. For seniors dealing with mild depression, loneliness, or anxiety, a daily walk can rival the effect of a low-dose antidepressant. Multiple clinical trials confirm this. One woman in her mid-70s described it simply, "I stopped dreading mornings." If you're over 60 or caring for an elderly loved one, this information could genuinely change the trajectory of someone's health. Think about who needs to hear this. A spouse, a parent, a neighbor who's been sitting too much. Sometimes all someone needs is a reason to believe that something simple could actually help. Keep watching because the changes only get more dramatic from here. Osteoporosis affects roughly 54 million Americans, and the majority are over 60. Bone isn't static. It's living tissue that remodels constantly. Cells called osteoclasts break down old bone, while osteoblasts build new bone. After 60, the breakdown outpaces the building. That's how bones thin and fracture risk climbs. Walking is a weight-bearing exercise. Every step transmits force through your leg bones, spine, and pelvis. That mechanical stress signals osteoblasts to lay down fresh mineral deposits. You are literally telling your skeleton to stay strong by putting weight on it. By month 3 or 4 of consistent daily walking, bone density measurements begin to stabilize. In longer studies, 6 months, 12 months, some participants show modest increases in hip and spine density. This matters enormously. A hip fracture after 70 is not a minor event. 20% of seniors who fracture a hip do not survive the following year. Prevention is everything. And walking is a prevention you can do in your own neighborhood for free starting today. Your immune system ages too. Doctors call it immunosenescence, the gradual weakening of immune defenses over time. This is why respiratory infections, shingles flare-ups, and slow wound healing become more common after 60. Moderate daily walking has been shown to improve immune surveillance. It increases the circulation of natural killer cells, T cells, and immunoglobulins, the frontline soldiers that detect and destroy pathogens before they establish infection. A study from Appalachian State University tracked over 1,000 adults through cold and flu season. Those who walked at least 20 minutes 5 or more days per week experienced 43% fewer sick days. When they did catch a cold, symptoms were 32% less severe, 43% fewer sick days from walking. Your lymphatic system, which carries immune cells throughout your body, doesn't have a pump like your heart. It relies on muscle contraction and body movement to circulate lymph fluid. Sitting all day literally stalls your immune traffic. Walking restarts it. Millions of seniors struggle with fragmented sleep, falling asleep fine but waking at 2 or 3 in the morning unable to drift back. This is partly a circadian rhythm issue and partly a physical tension problem. Walking addresses both. Morning or early afternoon walking exposes you to natural daylight, which calibrates your internal clock and strengthens the evening melatonin surge. The physical fatigue from walking, gentle as it is, creates what sleep researchers call sleep pressure, the body's honest need for rest rather than the restless exhaustion of inactivity. A meta-analysis in the journal Sleep Medicine Reviews found that regular moderate exercise, walking being the most common form studied, improved sleep onset time, total sleep duration, and sleep quality in older adults more effectively than most over-the-counter sleep aids, without the grogginess, fall risk, or dependency. If you're lying awake at 3 in the morning staring at the ceiling, your body might be telling you it didn't move enough during the day. This one surprises people. Walking directly stimulates peristalsis, the rhythmic muscle contractions that push food through your intestines. After 60, these contractions often slow down, leading to constipation, bloating, and discomfort. A 10 to 15-minute walk after meals gently accelerates gastric emptying and intestinal motility. Food moves through at a healthier pace. Nutrient absorption improves. Gas and bloating decrease. There's also emerging research on the gut microbiome, the trillions of bacteria living in your intestines. Moderate exercise appears to increase microbial diversity, which correlates with better immune function, reduced inflammation, and even improved mood through the gut-brain axis. Something as mundane as a post-dinner stroll around the block might be reshaping your internal ecosystem in ways scientists are only beginning to measure. Falls are the leading cause of injury-related death in adults over 65. Let that settle for a moment. Walking trains proprioception, your body's awareness of where it is in space. With every uneven sidewalk crack, every subtle slope, every turn around a corner, your ankles, knees, and hips make micro adjustments. Your brain processes thousands of sensory inputs per minute while you walk. That neural circuitry strengthens with repetition. Your calf muscles, which act as stabilizers, grow more responsive. Your hip abductors, the muscles on the outside of your thighs that prevent sideways collapse, activate and strengthen. Your reaction time improves. Seniors who walk daily fall less, period. And when they do stumble, their bodies respond faster, often catching them before the fall completes. This isn't about athleticism, it's about keeping yourself out of the emergency room. Let's be honest about something. Loneliness after 60 is an epidemic. Retirement, loss of a spouse, children moving away, the social fabric thins, and isolation isn't just emotionally painful. Research now classifies chronic loneliness as a mortality risk equivalent to smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Walking gets you outside. It puts you in contact with neighbors, other walkers, store owners, dog walkers. Even a wave and a good morning registers in your brain as social connection. Walking groups, available in nearly every community, provide accountability, companionship, and purpose. The rhythm of walking also provides a meditative quality. Worries that spiral endlessly while sitting in a quiet house often untangle themselves during movement. Therapists call it bilateral stimulation. The alternating left-right pattern of walking appears to help the brain process emotions more fluidly. You don't need a prescription for this. You need a sidewalk and a pair of shoes. Let me give you some genuinely useful guidelines. Start where you are. If you can only walk for 10 minutes without discomfort, that is your starting point. Not someone else's. Yours. Add 2 minutes per week. Slow progress is still progress. Walk at a pace where you can hold a conversation but would find singing difficult. That's your moderate intensity zone, the sweet spot where benefits accumulate without strain. Wear shoes with a firm heel counter and a flexible forefoot. Your footwear matters more than your outfit. If your shoes are older than a year of regular use, replace them. Worn soles increase slip risk. Walk on flat, even surfaces until your confidence builds. Sidewalks beat trails early on. Once your balance and endurance improve, gentle inclines and varied terrain add extra challenge. Time of day matters less than consistency. Some people prefer morning walks to anchor their routine. Others walk after lunch to manage blood sugar. Choose whatever time you'll actually do every single day. Habit beats optimization. If weather is a problem, indoor alternatives work. Mall walking, treadmills, even walking in place while watching television still triggers the same circulatory and metabolic benefits. Don't let rain become a permanent excuse. Bring water. Dehydration in seniors occurs faster than you think, especially during warmer months. A small water bottle in your hand or a hydration belt makes a difference. And finally, track your walks. A simple notebook, a wall calendar with check marks, or a basic pedometer gives you visual proof of your consistency. That proof becomes motivation on days when you'd rather stay seated. Let's bring this together. Daily walking, even 20 to 30 minutes at a moderate pace, improves your circulation within days. It feeds your cartilage and lubricates your joints within weeks. It stabilizes blood sugar within a month. It grows new brain cells and lifts your mood within 2 months. It strengthens bones by month 4. It fortifies your immune system. It fixes your sleep. It prevents falls. It connects you to your community. No single medication on earth does all of that simultaneously. Nothing in a bottle, a capsule, or an IV bag touches that breadth of benefit. And it costs you nothing but time and intention. You don't have to be fast. You don't have to go far. You just have to go. Every day. Rain or shine, 15 minutes or 45, alone or with a friend, your body at 60, 70, 80, it still responds. It still adapts. It still builds. It is waiting for the signal that you haven't given up on it. Give it that signal tomorrow morning. Lace up, step outside, walk to the end of the block and back, then do it again the next day. That's how everything changes. If this video gave you even one reason to start walking, or to keep walking, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Tell me where you walk, how long you've been doing it, or what changes you've noticed. Your story might be the encouragement someone else needs today. If you found this helpful, please share it with a family member or friend who could use a gentle nudge toward better health. Sometimes the right information at the right time makes all the difference. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to this channel and tap that notification bell. We release new senior health content every week. Practical, research-backed, and always in your corner. Take care of yourself. You're worth the effort. I'll see you in the next one.